I have a bit of an obsession about books. I've always enjoyed reading books, and from an early age I used to go to the library virtually every week to trade in the ones that I'd read for new ones. I love the smell of old books and I enjoy sorting them out, but most of all, I enjoy receiving new books. Whether I get them as a gift or whether I buy them, order them, I've got a shelf of books that I'm in the middle of reading and an even bigger pile of books that I haven't even properly opened yet. Now that's definitely something that I've inherited from my parents and my grandparents. I've even published a book. It's on sale on Amazon and I've started working on my second. My book's dedicated to my grandfather. My grandfather, I called him Zadie. He had the most magnificent collection of books. And every week I'd go and visit my grandparents and then I'd spend some time just with my Zadie and we'd chat together. And invariably, he'd always pull out some book that he'd just been reading and he'd show me something cool in one of his Sepharim, in one of his Jewish books. Zadie was the greatest teacher. Not just because he taught us, but he successfully transferred his passion and enthusiasm for what he had learnt to each of us. Now, my grandfather had this line, and he'd repeat it every time that we would excitedly show him a new book that we'd received. If one of his young grandchildren or great-grandchildren received their first Siddur or their first Chumash, Zadie would pick it up, look at it with reverence and excitement, and he would say, "I wish you to wear it and tear it in good use. Wear it and tear it well," he would say. Now, no one loved books more than my Zadie. I once took him on an outing to the John Rylands Museum. He was so excited. We looked at some ancient Jewish manuscripts together. They were hundreds of years old, handwritten Sepharim and scrolls. Here he is in the library, looking at a book that's a few hundred years old. And he was always so careful how he handled them. But he would always wish us, wear them and tear them well. Or wear them and tear them in good use. Here's another line he'd say. Books weren't written for the bookshelf, but to be read again and again. So this is my Siddur. It's falling apart. It's the one book which I've used every day for years. Now I'll get it rebound and I'll keep using it. This week I read a remarkable story. Mendel Alperovitz. He's a Jewish prison chaplain in South Dakota in America. He's English, he was born and brought up in Bournemouth, but he lives in the States in South Dakota with his wife and family. A few days ago, Mendel goes to visit a Jewish prisoner in a prison about an hour and a half drive away from where he lives. This prisoner had asked for a Siddur so that he could daven. So Mendel bought him a beautiful new Siddur. A lovely blue hardback Siddur with Hebrew on one page and translation on the facing page. It was embossed in gold on the front cover and it had 2 blue ribbon bookmarks. He buys this Siddur, he drives to the high security prison, he arrives nice and early because you can only meet the prisoners at the allotted time. There's a meeting. He goes through security and he sits down to speak to the prisoner through a glass. And he excitedly shows him the Siddur and he asks the guard to give him the Siddur. And the guard takes a hold of the Siddur and he says, "No, I can't give this to the prisoner. This is a hardback Siddur. No exceptions, not even for a religious prayer book. Only softback books." The prisoner's crestfallen. He's so disappointed. He doesn't know how to daven and he wants to be able to do so. And all he wants is this Siddur. Mendel thinks quick. He rips off the hardback cover and he hands the guard the rest of the Siddur. The Siddur is no longer pristine. It may not look great on his shelf, but as my Zadie told me, books were not written for the bookshelf. What book do you have that's so meaningful? Which book do you want to read again and again till it's falling apart? Think about that and have a wonderful day.